Yeah, I was scared. Anybody that has Graves' disease, like you feel like you finna be out here.
Missy Elliott, the trailblazing hip-hop visionary who sold more than 40 million records, seemed to vanish from the spotlight only to re-emerge years later transformed, thinner, and different. What happened during those missing years? To answer that, we must first grasp the magnitude of her influence. This isn't a simple tale of a star taking time off. It's the story of one of the most daring innovators in hip-hop and R&B, an artist who reshaped the genre with futuristic beats, groundbreaking visuals, and fearless self-expression. Born Melissa Arnett Elliott on July 1, 1971, in Portsmouth, Virginia, her path to fame was forged through hardship. Childhood was shadowed by trauma. She witnessed her father, a Marine, abuse her mother, and at just 8 years old, she endured sexual abuse at the hands of a cousin. These early struggles could have broken her, but instead, they became the crucible that forged a legend.
And the only child, I would be in my room with, my dolls, and they were my audience.
These traumatic experiences could have shattered her spirit, but instead they became the driving force behind her creative fire. Music became her refuge and coping mechanism from an early age, with Missy imagining herself as a superstar and promising to one day achieve fame so she could protect and provide for her mother. The turning point came in 1985, when 14-year-old Missy and her mother escaped the abusive household, leaving behind almost everything and depending on relatives for support. This life-changing move strengthened Missy's resilience. Although she continued to fear retaliation, it also freed her to chase her dreams with fierce determination. By the early 1990s, Missy formed an all-female R&B group called FZL, later renamed Sister, with her childhood friends. They signed with Swing Mob Records and released their debut single, Brand New, in 1993. Unfortunately, their full album All the Sisters Around the World was shelved after the single underperformed, a crushing blow that could have ended most careers before they even began. But this is where Missy's brilliance truly surfaced. Rather than giving up, she shifted to behind-the-scenes work, writing and producing hits for artists like Aaliyah, SWV, and Destiny's Child. Her creative partnership with her childhood friend Timbaland soon became the stuff of music legend.
She sees the story from the beginning to the end, where I can see it. I just want to hear her voice. She gotta feel it. She's a female. She gotta dance to it, choreograph, clothes, style, how she look, how everything.
Their true breakthrough came with Aaliyah's sophomore album One in a Million in 1996, where they wrote and produced 9 tracks that reshaped the sound of R&B. The album went double platinum, blending Elliott's quirky, futuristic lyricism with Timbaland's groundbreaking production style to redefine the genre. Then came 1997, the year that transformed everything. On July 15th, Missy released her debut solo album Supa Dupa Fly, and the music world would never be the same again. The album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 with 129,000 first-week sales, marking the highest debut for a female rapper at the time. Produced entirely by Timbaland in just 2 weeks, the 60-minute, 17-track project was celebrated as a boundary-breaking, postmodern masterpiece. But it was the iconic music video for The Rain, Supa Dupa Fly, that truly solidified Missy's avant-garde image. Directed by Hype Williams, the video showcased her wearing an inflated black leather suit, often compared to a giant garbage bag, set against bold, Afrofuturist visuals. Paired with platform shoes and a glitter-covered helmet, the outfit perfectly symbolized her fearless, nonconformist approach to creativity. And the story behind that legendary suit is absolutely unbelievable.
Ray, that was probably the craziest one because I had to go to a gas station with my car.
The suit?
Yeah. So once I was pumped all the way up, they realized that I was too big to get in the car. So I had to walk down the street.
Can you imagine strolling through the streets of Brooklyn in a giant inflated suit simply because you couldn't fit into a cab? That's the kind of fearless commitment and innovation Missy brought to every project she touched. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, her career skyrocketed. She released groundbreaking albums such as Da Real World, 1999, Miss E. So Addictive, 2001, Under Construction, 2002, This Is Not a Test, 2003, and The Cookbook, 2005. These projects produced massive hits like Get Your Freak On, Work It, Lose Control, and Gossip Folks, seamlessly blending hip-hop with elements of electronica, funk, and world music.
I hated Gossip Folks.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yes. I hate Gossip Folks. And I'm telling you, just that knock, and I'm like, yo, excuse my voice, I've been sick, so, I know.
Even the songs she once doubted became massive hits. Missy won 4 Grammy Awards, including Best Female Rap Solo Performance for Work It in 2003, and sold over 40 million records worldwide, cementing her status as the best-selling female rapper in Nielsen music history, according to Billboard. But her impact went far beyond awards and record sales. She challenged gender norms in hip-hop, championing body positivity and creativity over conventional beauty standards. In an industry that often pressured female rappers to be hypersexualized, Missy refused to conform, becoming the first female rapper to achieve monumental commercial success on her own terms. Her collaborations with icons like Madonna, Janet Jackson, and Beyoncé further solidified her position as a true industry titan. As of 2025, her net worth stood at approximately $50 million, accumulated through music sales, production royalties, major brand endorsements with companies like Adidas and Pepsi, and savvy real estate investments.
I have 7 houses, so I don't even do
Talk that shit, Missy. That's what I'm talking about.
7 houses all paid for.
No mortgage.
Missy Elliott was on top of the world, dominating the charts, revolutionizing music videos, and amassing wealth, all while staying unapologetically true to herself. She was unstoppable, a creative force of nature, seemingly immune to anything that could slow her down. But then, something happened. Something that would force this powerhouse to step away from the spotlight for years. The question on everyone's mind became simple yet haunting. Where did Missy Elliott go? The turning point came in 2008, when Missy's trajectory shifted dramatically due to health issues. At the peak of her career, when she should have been celebrating yet another wave of success, something terrifying was happening inside her body, something she couldn't control. She was diagnosed with Graves' disease, an autoimmune disorder that affects the thyroid. For those unfamiliar, Graves' disease occurs when the body's immune system produces antibodies that overstimulate the thyroid gland, causing excessive hormone production. The condition can trigger a range of debilitating symptoms, including rapid weight loss, anxiety, fatigue, tremors, irregular heartbeat, and, in some cases, eye bulging or skin changes.
Me, when you say you gotta take a radiation pill, you think you really finna be out of here. Like, what do I really have? And then you gotta go through seeing, my eyes changing, your hair fall out, your skin change, everything. For me, that was traumatic.
Her symptoms surfaced dramatically in 2008. While driving, her leg began shaking uncontrollably, nearly causing a serious accident, a classic sign of the tremors associated with hyperthyroidism. Shortly after, she found herself unable to even hold a pen to write lyrics, forcing collaborators like Monica to step in and assist.
I was doing in the studio with Monica doing everything to me with that record, and I couldn't even write the words down because the nervous system breaks down, so you shake so bad. And she was like, look, miss, I got it. Let me write it.
Imagine that for a moment. Missy Elliott, one of the greatest songwriters of her generation, literally unable to hold a pen. The very instrument through which she channeled her genius was suddenly beyond her grasp. Alongside this, she experienced rapid weight loss, reportedly dropping below 100 pounds, dizziness, fatigue, anxiety, depression, hair loss, potential eye bulging, and elevated blood pressure. The diagnosis was a shock, but what's fascinating is how Missy initially addressed it publicly. In 2011, she downplayed the severity in interviews, describing it as not so great, and explaining, "There have been times when I might not have said anything to anyone, but I've been dealing with it since 2008. She highlighted that her symptoms had improved quickly after treatment and insisted she was managing the condition effectively. However, later revelations revealed that Graves' disease had affected her far more severely than she had admitted. The condition forced her into a long hiatus from music, intensifying feelings of helplessness and deepening her anxiety and depression. This period also coincided with hormonal imbalances that can worsen mood disorders, creating a perfect storm that challenged even someone as resilient as Missy.
I was sick. I couldn't even hold a pen to write.
Upon diagnosis, Elliott chose radioactive iodine therapy, a standard treatment designed to destroy overactive thyroid cells and curb excessive hormone production. She later described it as highly effective, noting in 2011 that her symptoms had improved rapidly. At the same time, she briefly used antithyroid medications to block hormone synthesis. By mid-2011, under her doctor's guidance, she discontinued the medications and shifted to non-pharmacological strategies. This is where Missy's story becomes truly inspirational. Rather than relying solely on medication, she has consistently affirmed that she has been off drugs since around 2010, managing her condition through diet, exercise, and holistic practices. Her regimen is highly disciplined, limiting fried foods, bread, and sugar to stabilize weight and energy, taking daily walks and hikes, following structured exercise programs like Shaun T's Focus T25, incorporating prayer and meditation for mental strength, and channeling emotions through late-night creative sessions. This comprehensive approach not only stabilized her health but also reinforced her resilience and creative spirit.
Missy Elliott. It all begins and ends here.
Thank you, God, for your grace and mercy.
With prayer and performance. This is a blessing. I always say I don't take for granted these moments. I don't think it's just talent. I most definitely give praise to God.
But the mental toll of the disease was perhaps even more devastating than its physical symptoms. In 2018, at Essence's Black Women in Music event, Missy delivered an inspiring speech, stating, "Those tests become your testimony," highlighting how overcoming helplessness had strengthened her resilience. The impact on her career was immediate and severe. After her 2005 album The Cookbook, Missy largely vanished from the public eye. There were no full albums, no tours, only occasional features and sporadic singles like We Run This, 2006, Chingaling, 2008, and WTF, Where They From, 2015. For fans accustomed to her constant innovation and presence, her absence was jarring, and rumors began to circulate. Some even misremembered her passing, particularly around 2016, a phenomenon now associated with the Mandela effect. These misconceptions arose solely from her reduced public presence during her health struggles, not any actual event. Compounding the misinformation, clickbait videos in 2025 with titles such as "The Tragedy of Missy Elliott" sensationalized her health issues, childhood traumas, and personal losses for views. Credible reporting, however, confirms that she is alive and thriving, with no evidence of any recent disappearances or deaths during those difficult years. Missy also endured profound personal losses. The 2001 death of Aaliyah in a plane crash hit her hard. She considered Aaliyah a close collaborator and baby girl. Their bond was sisterly, and Missy has consistently honored her memory through annual tributes, noting in 2024 that Aaliyah's influence is still deeply felt. More recently, the sudden death of Batman Scoop in August 2024, following a stage collapse at age 53, elicited heartfelt responses from Missy. The two had collaborated on the hit Lose Control, and she remembered him as someone who brought laughter into our lives with unmatched energy.
I want y'all to know that we are special. Black people, we are special. Understand? And I love each one of y'all. I thank y'all so much. And I'm so full, and I know I want to get off the stage, but I'm so full. It's been such a blessing.
Despite the disease, the losses, the depression, and the anxiety, Missy maintained an extraordinary level of grace and humility. Yet the question lingered, would she ever return? Could she return? Or had Graves' disease permanently halted the career of one of hip-hop's greatest innovators? The answer came in the form of a triumphant return. If you thought Missy Elliott's story ended with her retreat from the spotlight, you would be completely wrong. What happened next was nothing short of miraculous, a comeback that proves resilience, faith, and determination can overcome even the most devastating obstacles. Despite more than 15 years of setbacks, including periods of depression and weight fluctuations, Missy never truly left. She was healing, growing, and quietly preparing for one of the most celebrated returns in music history. The first major sign of her resurgence came in 2015, with her surprise performance at the Super Bowl 49 halftime show alongside Katy Perry on February 1st at the University of Phoenix Stadium. Missy joined Perry to perform Get Your Freak On, Work It, and Lose Control, in front of an audience of 118.5 million viewers. Critics immediately praised her energy, noting that she nearly upstaged the headliner. The impact was immediate. Her music sales skyrocketed, jumping 996% with 73,000 units sold the following week. But the true validation came through long-overdue honors. In 2019, she was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, becoming the first female rapper to receive the accolade. Then, in 2023, she made history again, becoming the only female rap artist ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Misdemeanor Elliott. Now the first woman hip-hop artist inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
How honored are you? Words cannot describe. I'm still pinching myself. You know, when you in the hip-hop world, that it seems so far out of reach.
At her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, Missy reflected on the improbability of the moment, marveling at how far she had come and how much she had overcome to reach such an extraordinary milestone.
Still like, wow, because that felt so far out of reach. Like, especially coming up in the hip hop group. That's probably one of those things that you just feel like, oh, that's not right.
In August 2023, she was honored with the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at the MTV VMAs, delivering a spectacular 15-minute performance that reminded the world why she is considered a true legend. Her acceptance speech radiated humility and gratitude, particularly toward the dance community whose creativity helped bring her groundbreaking visions to life. But perhaps the crowning achievement came in July 2024, when she launched Out of This World, the Missy Elliott Experience, her first headlining tour in 2 decades.